Hello, my name is Mike Dixon, your host and narrator for this documentary episode series, Life After Deportation. This documentary examines the struggles of deported migrants. We begin with Mr. Gibbon Farquharson, seen here walking through the rocky hills of Montego Bay. This documentary is produced by Jumpstart Productions, a non-profit organization, and LM Entertainment, in association with the NODM of Jamaica, National Organizations of Deported Migrants.
My name is Gibbon Farquharson, and I was deported because of drug possession. 2010, June 2010, I was deported back to Jamaica.
What were some of the things you were doing that led up to this event?
Well, I was hanging out with the wrong crowd, and you know what I mean, and guys was, selling drugs. I was there with them, and most of the time when the cops show up, they drop the stuff, you know what I mean? The cops have to put it on someone, and if you say nothing too much, you're the one that end up with it, so.
What challenges did you face here after you got deported?
Oh man, the challenge I faced here when I got deported, I had no family when I come here. And the one them I thought that was my family, they put me out. You know what I mean? If I have money, me and them is cool. But if I ain't got no money, I gotta go. Well, I tried to get a little job here and there, you know what I mean? Which there's no job in Jamaica, you know that for yourself. No job, so, you know what I mean? I tried to chop, bushes, you know what I mean? Clean people's yard, rake it up. Whatever I could hustle, get something from to buy some food to eat and get my medication. I asked somebody to use their phone and call somebody in the state to send me some, money to buy my medicine or some food, Away from that, I just go without.
What kind of medical problems do you have since you're being deported?
Well, before I even got deported, I have hypertension and my heartbeat is not, up to par. It's like, I have like heart problem too with that. So, with my blood pressure and the messed up heart, I don't know, but I got to take it easy. I can't walk in the sun. I can't work in the sun. It's too hectic for me.
Are you with family now?
Family now. I don't have any family out here. I thought I did, but once I ain't come here with no money, they don't want to be bothered with me because I'm broke. I ain't got nothing. So they put me out. That's why I'm up here in the bush, living all by myself.
So what do you need right now?
I need help. Any way possible I could get help, I just need help. Help with my medical problem, with my food, my living, the little that I have, sometimes I help people with it. I don't have it. If I get something and somebody need it, I help them. Hoping maybe someday somebody will turn around and help me too. But I just gotta keep trying, but I'm not going to give up. I just gotta keep trying.
What was the process like, and how did you feel when you were being deported?
Oh man, I feel dirty. Feel let down by the system over there because I've been over there 40 years. I worked, and take care of my family, but some mishaps happen, around the wrong set of guys, things happen.
Was there any kind of appeal process that you did?
Yes, there was a lot of appeals. I put in appeal to the district judge, the circuit judge, habeas corpus, which I was granted, my appeal reversed in the deportation court. And then when I go back to court, the judge keep postponing it because he figure, well, If I keep postponing it, the lawyer that I hired, Brett and Colvin, they gonna make a lot of money off of me, and he just wanted for me to mess up. So he sent the letter to the wrong address and ordered me deported in absentee.
So if you had gotten that letter, you would not have been deported?
I would not be here right now if I got that letter, because I would be in the courts. I would have to honor that motion that the judge sent to him.
So where are you living now?
Well, I'm living in a abandoned building and a piece of captured land because I don't have any family, so I had to find somewhere to live. And I don't want to walk the street or get into no problem because I know it's not easy trying to get out. It's easy to get in it, but it's hard to get out. So
tell me about how are you getting light and water?
Light and water, I had to walk around a mile for water. Light, sometimes I have to use candle because when you're trying to get a little light, they cut it off. You know what I mean? So when you get light, you're happy for it. But away from that, I have to buy, kerosene oil for my lamp and candle.
So tell me about getting water.
Water, I walk a mile. I walk a mile for water. I wait till the rain falls, then I fill my drums up. And that's how I could wash my clothes. That's walk a mile and wash my clothes, walk a mile to get water to drink.
Squatting, or capture the land as some call it, is building on land that doesn't belong to you. This is common in most third world countries like Jamaica. Many squatters, or deported migrants in this case, depend on rainfall for water. They also seek out public water sources, which are usually miles away from their homes. Many deported migrants, like Gibbons, have spent over 20 to 40 years in the United States, and then they're sent back to a country with little or no family ties, and are expected to start over from scratch. There is an organization in Jamaica that helps with the reintegration of deportees. It's called the NODM, or the National Organization for Deported Migrants. Mr. Oswald Dawkins, coming up next, is going to tell us more about how this program works.
Yes, well, my name is Oswald Dawkins, and I'm the General Secretary of the National Organization of Deported Migrants, NODM. NODM came about when individuals came down and realized that there was no organization representing persons who was actually deported. There was organizations in place, but these organizations had no persons who was actually deported and person in the administrative aspects of the organization. So persons who were deported got together and said they wanted an organization run by deported persons and also staffed by deported persons. Coming into that, they had a research project spearheaded by Professor Bernard Edley. During those workshops, individuals said, they want an organization. What should be the name of the organization? We agreed on the name National Organization of Deported Migrants. One of the things that the organization touched on is what about life after deportation? What does life mean after deportation? Life after deportation for me has been talking to persons about the issues that they have, and I'll share some of those issues with you, finding out what it is that the organization could do to assist persons. NODM does a number of things to assist persons. One of the things we talk about documentation. A lot of times persons come back to Jamaica and they don't have no documentation whatsoever. The organization assists them to get documentation, starting with birth certificate. After birth certificate, you're talking about TRN. Persons want to get their national insurance card, getting their passports in the back, because as we know, when persons come back home, their passport is turned over to immigration, and then they have to go about getting back their passport. We also found that persons come back and they had no kind of ID whatsoever. Persons come back, they get their family might send money back down to them, they can't go and get it because they don't have IDs. One of the other issues was in terms of homelessness. Persons come back down And in the first instance, they go to their family for stay with their family. A lot of these don't work out, so then you find persons, and end up on the street. So we also talk about getting places where persons could actually take their stay. We make referrals to hostels, we call emergency housing for persons who come back and don't have anywhere to stay. But one of the things that we are looking at is a lot of persons come back and they don't want to stay in those kind of housing facility, because then it reminds them of being in, prison and all of that other kind of aspects. So we looked around and said what we need to do is to start, something for ourselves in terms of preparing persons, having a place that persons can stay. Right now we have a hostel for females, when females come back, they can stay at the hostel, and this is part of it about life after deportation. You have persons who get deported who were veterans, and they come back to Jamaica and they can't get no kind of benefits in terms of veteran benefits. You have persons who was paying into social security, and when they come back home, they can't claim those benefits. These are some of the things that in terms of life after deportation. Personally for me, life after deportation has been an ongoing, struggle. Struggle to get the organization together. Struggle to get persons reintegrated, so to speak, inside of Jamaican society. A struggle to get persons to understand where they are at right now and what it is that they need to do to get their life back on track. So these are just some of the basic things in terms of life after deportation. When you go out into the field and you talk to people as a secretary of the organization, you find persons who are homeless. You find persons who get kicked out of their family place and they're basically living on the street. You find persons with mental issues, and these issues are not being addressed.